All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Untitled Common Sense, a channel where we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Yeah. No, I'm fun. We historically have been talking about political things, but I think this is a good segue to jump into some changes we're going to do with the channel. First and foremost, we'll still be talking about political stuff, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Your boy is tired. I'm so tired of everything that's going on with this country politically, especially since like all the real political problems are just like bullshit. Like it's just people being petty and cruel and callous. There's no real change. Nobody's really attacking the real problems we have in the world. And I'm just tired of giving it my energy. Like I'm so exhausted keeping up with every little thing that Donald Trump does, or every little thing he doesn't do, or every little thing the right does, and every little thing the left doesn't do, or blah blah blah. And it's just mind-numbingly just like a waste of my time and my life. I got 3 kids. I'm in my 40s, so I'm starting to reach that pinnacle and start rolling downhill. I don't have time for this bullshit. And I was thinking the other day how much fun and better life was when I wasn't worrying about this stupid political stuff. And I get it. I'm not saying like swear it off, because like if we're not here to make sure that the people quote unquote running the country, because they're not running the country, they're just doing, it's like you it just reminds me of kids, how kids would run the country. They'll just do what they want to do and not really think about what's necessary for everything to function the way, so that we all can do what we want to do. But yeah, it's just so like I was enjoying life so much better when I have to worry about this. But we do have to keep aware of what these fools are doing, because they're slowly destroying the country, and nobody here wants to be like, yo, let's stop it. So for my own sanity and my own peace of mind, I am going to diversify this channel. While yes, I will talk about political things and issues that resonate with me, it's not going to be every video. I'm not going to try to shoehorn why you should feel this way or why I think this is beneficial, because motherfuckers don't care. And I'm starting not to care in the way that I feel I should keep reaching out with these videos. Rather, I will take what I've learned from doing these past 19 videos and evolving. Because this is one thing, and I was kind of thinking about this later. The reason why our political system is what it is now is because of lack of imagination, a lack of thinking outside of what we've been told to think. Our society as a whole is very binary. It's either this or that, and or. It can't be both or a melange of different things. It always has to be one way or the other. And I think you see that within our political system. You can't be right, you have to be left. You can't be left, you have to be right. You can't be conservative, you have to be progressive, or blah blah blah. You can like gays, you can't like gays. It's just stupid. It's we're drawing ourselves into smaller and smaller boxes. Nobody's happy about being in any box, and we're all miserable for it. So I'm going to stop doing that. In an attempt to foster new ideas, to generate new thoughts, to get new audiences, I'm going to interject things I like to. Untitled Common Sense. I'll keep the name because I made the channel. Maybe I might change it. But it will be Untitled Common Sense, as you know it, where I do some political commentary, coupled with ramblings, as I like to call it, about certain subjects and things that I'm interested in, that I think other people should be interested in. That can be anything from the political stuff. Like if there's an issue where I feel really strongly about, I'll definitely chime in. I have some ideas about what to tell young men, further things to talk about for young men, because that's a problem. And, raising 2 young boys myself, I can use this kind of as a sounding board of some of the ideas I'm thinking as I, raise 2 young boys. I have a an older daughter. I might drop some gems in there about what I see for raising young women and some of the things I think about when it as it pertains to young women, because I think a lot of the stuff I'm seeing in regards to women is very disappointing. I still don't understand this reason why society and specifically males need to feel this need to dominate women, just control their lives. Like, a lot of these things I just can't understand. I don't want anybody telling me what I can do. So why would I visit that on somebody else? But people love being able to tell people what to do. Like, for a country that complains about government regulation and complains about not being able to say the word retard and faggot and the N word and all that other stuff, they sure are very quick to put people in a box and tell them you can only do this and you can only do that. And it just blows my mind, like the level of, like, you know. So I definitely have ideas for that, but I'll also come on here and talk about different books I'm reading. I got some ideas about a book series by an author named Marlon James. It's a kind of like a fantasy, historicalish fantasy, mythic age African series that I think is absolutely dope. The conceit of it is, it's two books are out now. It's supposed to be a trilogy, and it's about this African warrior in kind of like prehistory, mythic Africa, and each book tells this general story from the point of view of one of the characters within the greater story. It's absolutely dope. I haven't done justice about how I'm describing it, but when we get to that, it's going to be hot fire. I've been reading some books by Nnedi Okorafor. If you know, you know. She's a Nigerian American author who does a lot of like Afrofuturism, fantasy, stuff like that. She's got some really dope books. I love fantasy and I love sci-fi. But one of the things I've been feeling lately about those specific genres is like, it can get very repetitive. Fantasy can always be medieval fantasy with dragons and wizards and ogres and stuff like that, all the classic tropes. Sci-fi can always be about like space operas of ships and aliens and wormholes, and it can get kind of stale. Not to say that there's not good stuff being rehashed, but like, I have been thoroughly enjoying delving into fantasy and sci-fi that leaves the standard conventional way of thinking. In the case of fantasy, the European medieval aesthetic, and jumping into stuff that has given me African aesthetics, mythology. Same with Chinese. Same with Arabic. There's a lot of good Arabic stuff that I've been kind of getting put up on. And all these cultures are so unique in of themselves that when you explore worlds through those lenses, it's just super different. And if you're an enthusiast of fantasy, fantastic. Same with sci-fi. One of the reasons why I like the Dune series is that a lot of sci-fi at the time, especially the space opera sci-fi with the sweeping generational stories that take place over the span of centuries, they kind of write the same. There's some aliens, there's high technology, there's robots. What I appreciated about Dune was that it was one of the first books, sci-fi, that I read that really put the futurism in a human perspective. Because in the universe of Dune, technology, they do have fantastical technology, but the real innovation comes through human consciousness, which is like, for a dude like me who likes philosophy and quantum physics, it's so interesting to see that the new frontiers in which humans would evolve and explore the universe take place through their mind, them improving their mind and body to make them better able to accomplish the totality. Oh, whoa, my bad. The totality of the universe is interesting, because I too think like, what are the limits of human consciousness? What can we actually do? With meditation, with the proper training, could we develop our abilities beyond what we currently are able to do? So, to keep a long ramble short, those are just some of the things that I'm interested in. Also talk about manga, anime, animation, video games, things that I'm interested in. Even do some philosophy. Your boy likes to wax poetic, and I think philosophy is something that I wish a lot more people dug, because it's basically the science of like being human. It's basically philosophy, I think, boiled down to understanding the human condition, which is something that, we can all agree we are sharing. So, if you want to go out there and not just talk about stupid left wing, right wing politics, if you want to go out there and talk about art and muse about things that are just not your day to day, this will be the channel for that. And hopefully, we'll pick up some people along the way, and hopefully, we can spark some imagination, and hopefully, we can, get back to living lives of satisfaction, of nutrient dense lives that are not just full with all this stupid MAGA and Trump and all this other dumb stuff that we keep seeing every day. Like, it's just ridiculous. I'm just so tired. Like, I am. And I've been really enjoying my time. It's kind of why I haven't been posting as many videos. It's just been good not thinking about this stuff. I've been having a great time reading books. I read a recent, like I mentioned earlier, a recent Nnedi Okorafor book. It's called The One Way Witch. It's a post-apocalyptic kind of sci-fi fantasy-ish book that takes place in centuries after apocalypse on Earth. It's through an African lens, so it does a lot with like African spiritualism, and it's just really interesting. She paints a really interesting world. And I never knew how much I would enjoy that African spin. There's some really interesting, and this is one of the reasons why I don't understand everybody. I don't understand racism, and it, in the one hand, us being different peoples separates us because we do things differently and we see the world differently. But on the other hand, it's just such a delicious spice that we're all different. It's so nice to go to another country and see different architecture, to taste different food, to hear a different language, to see different ways of living, to just know that like there are alternatives. Diversity is so great in that you get so many options to choose from. And I don't understand why people want such a limited selection. One of the great things about a buffet is that you could find something you like. And I think when it comes to humanity, we should be offering a buffet and not just a limited menu. And that's not to say that certain cultures don't have their values and they don't have their strengths, but like, dude, in the same way you don't want to be eating Italian every day, and there's some people who would, that's fine. But, maybe Tuesday I want Mexican, maybe Thursday I want Chinese, maybe Friday I want Japanese, maybe Saturday I want, Nigerian. Like, if you like if you want difference, if you just want to be surprised, to be delighted, diversity is such a great thing, such a great thing. And it's been one of my biggest joys this past week or so, that I've been like stepping back from this political stuff, which only gives me two sides, which really is just one side. It's all about not delivering for the people. That's what I'm saying. I will give you this. The right wing is so uninterested about actually taking care of people. It blows my mind that people are a part of that. It's so evil and cruel. I just think it's a bullying ideology, and it makes you feel good because you can shit on somebody. But they're going out of their way just to be shitty to everybody and not have to take care of anything, because that's called communism, when it's really just called community and taking care of your fellow man. They want to complain that nobody wants to do things for them, but they are the first to just shit on everybody else. So I'm good with that. Left wing, I am left wing I guess coded, but like, the Democrats just, I can see what people saying. They're just, trying to genuflect or like, virtue signal, or they just seem interested in just like, keeping the status quo. Like Democrats aren't even real Democrats anymore. And I'm not like extreme left wing, and I get it. Some people don't want to be pushed too far, but like at a certain point, you just gotta be like, fuck it. If you don't want to listen, don't listen. I'm gonna go and do my own thing. Like, stop trying to like, just let everybody be. Is all I'm saying. So, anyway, that was a melange of rambles. But see, that's what I'm talking about. I was able to ramble about so many different things. I seem so much more animated. I seem so much more engaged, and that's what I'm gonna do with this new episode. These new episodes, I'm just going to let it flow. It's going to be about what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to hip you to some live game. I'll try to hip you to some cool things. Maybe you guys can hit me to some things. And we can just leave all of that bullshit behind, because I'm so done. I'm so done. I'm 40 years old. I just want to enjoy life. I got kids. I don't need to be worried about all this doom and gloom from shitty people who want to be shitty. I just don't have time for it. So if you want to join your boy and live in a much more healthier lifestyle without all BS, we'll be here. So with that, I hope you have an awesome Monday. I catch you on the flip side, and let's go places.